Is Rico nasty even nasty? I mean, that's a question that I like to ask and I like to think about in this video, but maybe even a larger question, which I think is often asked when we talk about Rico Nasty. Who is Rico Nasty? I mean, I remember when I first saw her, I first heard of her. I mean, even though I've been doing this channel since 2018, I miss a lot. You know, I'm not like always online. I'm not on the blogs. I just kind of see what comes out every week. So when I went to go see Playboi Carti in concert, I didn't know who she was. I actually thought Rico Nasty was going to be like a dude, like a Latin dude who was like Rico Suave, but instead of being suave, he was nasty. Okay, that's what I thought it was. And then I see this woman who's doing this very good rage rap performance, and I thought, okay, cool, and I'll keep an eye on it. Turns out that tour was not very good for her. People were just screaming at her and booing her and causing her to have a whole emotional crisis. And to those people, I'd like to quote a recent video by Shanspeare, a much better and bigger YouTuber than I, who just said, just say you hate women. If you went to that show and you didn't like Rico Nasty, I mean, you could dislike it. But to like boo it and think that it's some kind of offense to who Playboi Carti is just a sign that you just don't like women. But I understand. I understand because over time I've come to realize that I have a hard time accepting female rappers. Now that's a bad thing. That's like a very bad thing. So when I say it, I'm not saying it like, go Skye. I'm saying it like, okay, let's look into this. Let's figure out why this is. I mean, the clearest example goes back to 2010 when Nicki Minaj released Pink Friday. I bought that album on iTunes on the Tuesday that it came out. That's how excited I was. I wasn't on the blogs. I didn't have DVDs of her. I had no idea who she was, except she was on the song Monster, and I said, that's what I want. And I bought the album thinking it was going to be 45 minutes of that, and instead it was a mostly pop album with a little bit of rapping. And I was like, what's all this singing about? What's all this pop? What is this? I don't want this. I want Monster for 45 minutes. In a similar way, I press play on Friday. I go to the gym, whatever, 6 in the morning. I'm listening to Lethal by Rico Nasty. And what I want to hear is what that woman I saw up on stage at the Rochester Armory. Okay, that's who I want to see. I want to see the woman who was on Get Buck, Get Buck, Get Buck, Get Buck, whatever that song is with Schoolboy Q. Pop, maybe? Off of the album Blue Lips, one of the best albums of the year last year. But instead, what I get is this fascinating mixture of different styles of music, different approaches. I don't know. Is Rico nasty? Not really. But as I listened to it, and as I kept listening to it, I learned to love it more. Even more than I dislike that airplane that's above me. But you're just going to have to deal with that sound. I believe my 2-year-old is awake, so I have to get this video I have to get this video done and go be with her. So I'm going to learn who she is and share that with you. You know, soon I've decided I am going to make a class on women and gender and hip hop. I'm going to create that class. It's going to be an interesting class. It's going to be a hard class to teach, but I am going to create it. And when I do, I think I want to talk about this difficulty. Trying to figure out how, as a rippity rap fan, we can learn to better appreciate female rap for what it is, as opposed to criticizing it for what it isn't. Thank you for auditing the Always Positive New Music Review Show, hosted by a French professor who heard this and just said, I broke it down. So I basically broke it down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different genres. 2 songs are what I would call bubble rage. So she calls her music bubble trap, but it's like rage rap with a little bit of a bubble veneer. Bubble meaning a little bit poppier, a little bit lighter, a little bit less dark. 4 songs that are bubble trap, the genre that she created. 5 tracks that I would just call pop emo. And 4 tracks that I would call cloudy, rappy, hyper pop. So kind of like cloud rap, kind of like hyper pop, just sort of internet-y sounding music. So that's how it breaks down. And we see that pop emo is the #1 song here, is the #1 genre here. And I realized when listening to this that 4 years ago, my daughter would have loved this album. This would have been her favorite album, probably. Back when she was into sort of the pop emo stuff, the stuff where you go to Hot Topic and you see their t-shirts up on the wall and you like them and you get really into it, and then like 4 years later you're like, why did I like that so much? I don't know, dear. Melanie Martinez is pretty good. Don't feel so hard on yourself. She made good music, you know? And lo and behold, Rico Nasty is on Fueled by Ramen, like the emo pop label. So it all kind of makes sense. And this is where the intersection of race and gender gets all interesting because I don't know. I am going to go to the Eastview Mall at some point in the next couple weeks, and when I go, I am going to go into Hot Topic. Oh, ear spacer, nose pierced lady, stop asking me if I want to join the Hot Topic Club. Stop asking me. Stop asking me. I just want to buy a Billie Eilish t-shirt for my daughter. I don't want you to ask me 50 questions about my coupons. Anyways, we have a little thing going, me and the manager at Hot Topic. But I'm going to go into Hot Topic, and I'm going to look up on that wall of shirts. Am I going to see Rico Nasty? If I don't, I hate to tell you why. Starts with R and ends with acism, but who knows? Maybe she is there. Because at this point, she is a emo pop star who also knows how to rap. And let's give her more credit. You know how many features there are on this album? None. Not a single feature. It's just her. But because she has all these different styles, you don't get tired of it. It's like there's multiple Rico Nasties. The whole thing is produced by Imad Royal with a bunch of other producers, but Imad Royal is the main one. This is the guy who did Saturday Night. It was so funny. I said that to my daughter yesterday, and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "The Panic at the Disco song. You took me to the concert. We had listened to nothing but Panic at the Disco for like 2 years." And she's like, "Oh, right, Saturday Night. That's how it works." Ask me how many Mighty Mighty Boss Tones songs I know. I don't really know many. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones were my Panic at the Disco. And also Hallelujah by Panic. So like, a real pop emo producer. And the question that keeps coming up to me is, who is Rico Nasty? When you actually listen to this, I guess she's from DC and the surrounding area, which is cool. She's like many female rappers or many female artists in the pop space, ambiguously sexual, kind of multi-sexual. She has songs about women, songs about men that are like dirty, but she's not super like, it's not WAP. It's not WAP dirty. It's explicitly sexual, but it's not really trying to shock. And I really think that's nice. There's a sort of, I want to say a kind of innocence, a kind of like genuine sweetness to this. It doesn't feel like manufactured sweetness. It feels like maybe that's just who she is. That like who she is this more full person. I was listening to her back catalog getting ready to do this, and I heard the album Nightmare Vacation, and like that's what I was expecting, mostly rage, trap, and all that stuff. But this might be more honest, and this goes into that whole thing I was talking to you about creating a class on women in hip hop. And it's like maybe the fact that women are marginalized in hip hop could have a weird positive side effect of allowing them to be a little bit freed from the limited range of emotion that is ascribed by a space that is largely dominated by patriarchal forces. It's getting more and more freed of those forces, but over time, since time immemorial, okay, since Queen Latifah and frickin' TLC, okay, like the lines between pop and rap when it's made by women is very fluid. It's a very fluid distinction. And maybe that's just because they can. Maybe it's because they're not expected to always be one thing. They're more allowed to be free because they're never going to be fully accepted if they try to fit within the box. I don't know. That's just a theory I'm working on. I'll be telling you more as I create that class. Is she maybe the closest thing to Lil Yachty? I don't know. I think she's very Yachty-esque with all the different genres on here. The final thing I'll say before getting into it track by track is that it passes the waffle test. So if you don't know, every weekend I make Dutch babies, pancakes, waffles, French toast. I make really nice breakfast foods for my family, Saturday, Sunday. And so I was making waffles. And separating egg whites. You gotta separate the egg whites when you make waffles, everybody. It's more work, but you need those puppies to be fluffy. And I was listening to the album with my 2-year-old, and she was just digging it, and I was digging it, and it had like, it's a great album for a car. It's a great album for a house. It's a great album sort of for public spaces. On headphones, it's good, but I think it's more of a joyous album. So let's get to it. Let's start off with the track "Who Want It," sort of starting off in this kind of bubble trap style with a cheerleader, you know, who want it? Who want it? Kind of scratchy horns and synths, and her voice is just so clear. I wasn't expecting that when I pressed play. Simple drum lines and just simple opening verses. You know, her raps, she's not trying to dochi you into thinking that she's some kind of master lyricist. She's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. She just got her body botched. I'm trying to keep up with the girls. I can't even chase a nut. He can't even find the... And look at that. She didn't say squirrels because she knew she did the cool thing of leaving off a line. In Chanel, I'm cashing out, mixing diamonds and the pearls. I can't give the time of day because I'm only out at night. Just simple, straightforward lyrics. I mean, really, it's just fun. Like, just this album's fun. It's like enjoyable. It's not particularly pained. It's very joyous. Next song is called Teeth Sucker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is her emo pop princess anthem right here. These bass lines. I'm like, I've got it so stuck in my head. I've had it stuck in my head for 3 days now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I first heard this. I hated it. I was like, what is this? I want rap music. I want get bucked, get bucked, get bucked. I don't want yeah, yeah, yeah. But hey, guess what happened when I was making waffles? Oh, me and the 2-year-old. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was great. It's great. You listen to it more. Enjoy it. If this ended up being a pop hit that was on every radio station, I don't care. Beatos be damned. I don't care if it's just 2 verses and just basically one line and over again and super simple. It's an enjoyable bubblegum song. It really is. I don't mean Beato be damned. I met the man a month ago. Nice man. But, you know, his general take on pop music sometimes could come across as a little antagonistic. I'm happy I'm not you, 'cause you the best at losing, bitch. Ha ha, boo. I don't know. I don't think she's trying to win over super serious rap heads like me, and I appreciate that. Walk in this bitch, stomp on this bitch, new ego kid, I came equipped. And even the way she pronounces bitch, though, it's a little bit like Cardi. It's nice. It's a really short song. It's about a hook. The second verse is just wake up like, yeah, yeah. Wake up like, ah, yeah. You know? Why not? Why? You know, this is a different form of rap and hip-hop and pop mixing. Then we get to the song On the Low. That's that kind of cloudy, rappy, hyper-pop. Listen, I've only listened to this album like maybe 5 or 6 times. And it's pretty rare when you have catchy songs and then you read the title and then you're able to replace. So I'm able to replace yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm not editing here, right? Yeah, 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 with, oh, I already know, I can keep me kiss you and on the low. Like, I've already got the song stuck in my head. She writes really good hooks, or Ahmad Royale and her write really good hooks, or someone's writing really good. This has got these cool kind of like tap licks on the keyboard that sounds like Eddie Van Halen playing guitar, and it gets a little dirty in here about never been better, never been wetter, all that stuff, and it might be about a lesbian relationship or it might not. Oh, you already know I would never tell if we kiss on the low. I love pop music, everybody. I love pop music. If she's not on the wall at Hot Topic, I'm gonna do a follow-up video. Me and the 17-year-old, okay? We're gonna go to Eastview Mall sometime, and I'm gonna see, is Rico Nasty up there? She better be up there. Next track's called Pink. This is more of that cloudy, rappy, hyper pop style. Just kind of a squeaky voice, and it's pitched up and kind of funny lyrics. We ain't never leasing, just keeping it. I hit the blunt, my world like Lisa Frank. As somebody with 3 daughters, Lisa Frank is a more important brand to many children than Nike or Apple. Like, Lisa Frank is damn important. She does all these like weird, super colorful things with unicorns. Like, I never really thought about perhaps the modern obsession with psychedelia isn't just based on the proliferation and usage of prescription drugs and mind-altering substances. And maybe it's that we have a whole generation of kids who've grown up with Lisa Frank all over the place, man. You'll have like these big-ass pandas with giant eyes with like kaleidoscope colors like flying through space on a rainbow above a field of flowers. And like that's just your folder. That's just where you put your homework. My bitch, she loved pink, keep my lashes in the sink, such a feminine queen. This feels to me like an interesting the description of a female relationship, you know, a lesbian relationship with different styles of presenting masculinity, femininity, all that. I appreciate it, and it's a catchy chorus. Butterfly Kisses, more of the cloudy, hyper, rappy pop stuff here. Nice kind of 808, very clean, like sketchy synth. Everything on this album is just so clean and so clear. And again, when you have someone named Rico Nasty, I was expecting not that, but it really is. Another very catchy chorus. She manages to switch up her flow on the second verse. Like, she is a good rapper, but I don't think that's where she puts her effort. Then we get to Eat Me, and that's that bubble rage. This is what I was kind of expecting. You know, I have my initial notes from when I listened to it the first song and said, this is the best song, because I want these nasty sounds, these head nodding sounds, some orgasmic sounds. There's almost like a little Timbaland burp. You know that song? You know that Timbaland song? God, I don't even know. I don't even know. I have to go travel back in time to Jam in 94.5 1999 to remember who did that song. But the kind of sexy Timbaland song, Timbaland style sounding in the back, just buzzy, it's hype. I could eat her for lunch, call her Billy. Love the reference, really appreciate that. I like the aggressive sexuality in here. And she's a bad bee. I could eat her up. My God, like every single song on this album I can sing, even though I'm not editing and trying to listen to it. Like it's earworm on earworm on earworm, okay? This is Bobby K right here. This is Bobby K Jr. right here. That's what this is, brainworm after brainworm after brainworm. It's crazy. And she's a bad bee. Not even saying the B word. I appreciate it. Can we move away from the B word, everybody? Can we? And then there's a beat change, and it's loud and awesome. It's a little bit more aggressive and faster rap style, maybe a little more Nicki style, more what I wanted. Soul Snatcher. I could not stop thinking about the stupid Suicide Squad movie with the katana. Oh my God, but it's not that. Kind of a Cardi style. This is that bubble trap style, but like she actually raps like Cardi, like fuck a choker train, like I want to hang. Fuck a square, love it when he bang. Like, kind of has that weird, and then the kind of high voice. But in general, she doesn't sound like anybody all the time. She just jumps around in different styles. Then we get to the song Grave, Bubble Trap, right into it. Just a killer opening verse, though. How she uses her squeaky voice. She is showing off a lot more of her dynamism in her rapping, putting PG on the map, meaning Prince George County, which is in Maryland. And then she says, like I'm on the guitar. And there's so much guitar in this album. And I got a problem with guitar and rap music. I think the problem is that it's usually used improperly. I think there's a weird sort of misunderstanding of what makes guitar good. And too often they just get whatever studio guitarist is around and say, play something that rocks. And it's about as good as when rock artists get some random rapper off of Fiverr and just say, like, do something hip hop. Like it's a sort of lack of understanding of rock music. But I don't think this is rock music. I think this is pop music. And so in that way, it works fine. And just the more you listen to it, the more I enjoy it. I really enjoy the whispering style at the end. Son of a gun, this was what I wanted the whole time. She's a rage rapper, angry, distorted madness, and she's running out of breath. And there's a guitar in here, but it's droning. She's yelling, she's angry, she's sexy. Don't let him put batteries in your back, keep throwing dirt, I ain't seeing that. Bleed that hoe, make her put on a pad. Son of a gun, don't run when I come. Son of a gun, don't run when I come. I want to see it. I want to see her in concert. When's she coming? Is she coming within 100 miles of Rochester, New York? Probably not. People aren't doing that anymore these days. Very funny second verse here. She forgot what she said. Okay, Miss Dory. Like from Finding Nemo, because she always, okay, Miss Dory. I always make a new page to watch my stories, and my house for stories, like in that hoe like Corey. I could never rap boring. I don't know what Corey that is. Can you tell me in the comments? What hoe named Corey has 4 stories? I assume it's like a Nickelodeon or Disney show. Very, very cool. Smoke Break, more of that pop emo stuff, kind of tight metal, pop drums, break shit, always. It's sort of like, this is almost a parody of kind of like new metal-y sounding music up until the break where she says burning shit down, and she's like it's like death metal screaming. It's interesting. I don't want to shop. Fuck your suit and ties. Hey, how often do you hear explicitly anti-consumerist messages in pop rap music? Never. Never in my history of observing and listening to pop rap music have I ever heard that. Then we get to the song Crash. It's a Dave Matthews cover. I get one bad joke per video. I spent it on that. This is just a Cure song. This is pop emo. She better be on that wall at Hot Topic. She better be up there right next to My Chemical Romance and Lil Peep. God damn, they got a lot of Lil Peep at Hot Topic. There's a lot of Lil Peep up there. Lil Peep on the wall. But this is just the Cure, you know. This is just awesome pop chorus. When you crash into me, I forgive all the pain. I'm begging you that this time you can stay. Yay. It's a fun mixture. Can't win them all. More the cloudy, rappy, hyper pop style, the swirling guitar, snapping and drums. Cool and interesting, but it's just not rap. Before You Got With Me didn't have a name. Soften Up, Is It Ever Enough? There's acoustic guitar. And again, I think it's okay that it's not rap because it's this other kind of dynamic style. Say We Did is a video game sound. It's awesome. This is some of the best integration of video game soundscapes into non-video game music. A lot of people do that in the hyper pop space. This is in sort of, I would say, the more bubble trap style, but the video game sounds, the 16-bit, 8-bit sounds is super well done, and it morphs very gently into this nice kind of super produced pop stuff. If I left him now, he F the hoes that want to be me. If I let him F, he's going to want to have my seed. I don't need you, I want you. If my 2-year-old were not waiting for me to go upstairs and help her get ready for the day, I'd probably spend a lot of time describing to you the kind of love relationship that she's describing, how it would be approved of by French proto-feminist Simone de Beauvoir, who talks about authentic love needing to be founded on the reciprocal recognition of two freedoms. You know, that like we are each individuals and we don't own each other, and that we have a kind of independence, and that's where real love comes from. Real love comes from independence, not from dependence. And so saying I don't need you, I want you, that's really what that is. But I don't have time to go into all that, so I'm just going to have said all that. And slows down weirdly and ends. You could never, more emo pop, inspirational. You could never be like me. I love it. And she's likable. I'll buy my little cousins whatever they need. I still wear a seatbelt whenever I speed, because I know I got a village to feed. Seatbelts. Rico isn't nasty. Rico's responsible. She should change her name to Rico Responsible. Seatbelts are really important. Thank you to Ralph Nader. You might have cost us the 2000 election, but you saved a lot of lives with seatbelts. I still got issues I can't fix with my mom. I've been sick and I fell out with my dog. This is interesting because the whole album, she's staunchly refused going personal. She's not heading into the kind of Megan Thee Stallion area of sort of talking about who she is and getting into real issues. Except for this one song where she just says, I got issues I can't fix with my mom. If I could just make one request, a little bit more of that. And maybe she did it on her old stuff. I don't know her old stuff. But I'd love to hear more about these relationships with her mom, because what she's able to do is really put herself forward as a person in full, stylistically, but then the way she presents herself is a little bit maybe too smoky, a little bit too hidden, up until we get to the last track, Smile. And I'm listening to it, I'm like, okay, it's just a love song. I don't remember life before you. I laugh till I'm sore. It's kind of 50 arpeggiated box chords in the back. This kind of emo pop stuff. It's kind of like a little childish glockenspiel. I'm only smiling because of you. I'm like, all right, well, I guess maybe I was wrong about that Simone de Beauvoir thing. You know, maybe she is dependent. Maybe this isn't independent love. And she's talking, then she says, I'll tuck you in with your favorite bear. Oh, she's talking about her kid. Now this makes sense. It's a beautiful song about loving your kid. Like I love my 2-year-old, who's probably waiting for me to finish this video. When she sang, you have all the best parts of me, and I knew that she was singing about her kid, I cried. I did. I cried. Because listen, when you have a kid, it is a complete and total mindfuck. If you don't have children, People talk about like, oh, it's hard because you can't sleep, but oh, wait till they become teenagers. I've had teenagers, I've had babies, I've had it all. But I'm telling you, the thing they don't talk about is just the mind fuck. The fact that like there's going to be a human being. For me, there's 4 human beings. When they say the word father, they see this guy. Do you understand how messed up that is? I'm not a father. My father is father. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? And this mind fuck, this crazy emotional feeling that you have also comes with these just really strong feelings of love and care and just this indescribable love and attachment and feeling towards these things. Whether they're 19 years old working in Maryland or whether they're 2 years old sitting up probably singing the Sesame Street theme to her stuffed rabbit. Like you just have that feeling. And she's taking me all over the place, okay? She's saying, you know, who won it? She's saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's singing about eating out women, and she's talking about stroking guys' poles, and she's talking about problems with her mom, and now here she is, and she's talking about her love for her daughter. She's a woman in full. And that is seen stylistically, and that is seen artistically, and that is seen a little bit in the lyrics. So there you go. There's my review of Rico Nasty. I hope you enjoyed those flowers back there. Were Mother's Day flowers for my wife. Because my kids didn't quite get it right the first time. So just 1 week later, I'm like, let's do this again. let's, you know, let's do it again. So that's what we did. Aren't they nice? All right. Till next time, there's the camera.